Hey you guys, welcome back to K the PA. Now, if you clicked on this video, you're probably trying to decide if nursing is for you. And I mean, even though I'm trying to become a PA, I'm not there yet. So I can't really talk about a lot of PA stuff and what to do and all this other crap. I can't really talk about it. So when I get there, I'll make those kind of videos. But since I'm currently a tech at the hospital, I'm going to talk about that stuff. And I'm certified as an EMT, so I could talk about all that. So if you want to become a nurse, the first thing that I suggest that you do is become a tech. Like, seriously, I think that's number one. Because when you're a tech, you can decide if nursing really is for you, because you're basically going to be doing the same thing. You can work either in a hospital or a nursing home. And when you get this experience, you'll decide, okay, do I like doing this? Do I like bathing patients? Do I like taking them to the bathroom every 2 seconds? Because I mean, when you go in that room and you try to do vitals, and before you try to leave, these patients are going to be like, oh, can you take me to the bathroom? And it's like, oh my gosh, like it takes a lot of patience, because it's like you're trying to cater to all these people, and it just gets hard sometimes, and it's a lot of work. You know, you have to constantly lift patients and turn them and deal with their body functions. Like it could get disgusting, really. So, I mean, if you really don't like actually taking care of people, then I really don't think you should become a nurse. Because if you're a tech and you don't like it, you're going to be a lazy nurse. You know, because there's some nurses, they're like, oh, well, I didn't really like being a tech. And then they become a nurse. And they think that, okay, my only job is to pass out meds. And that's not true. Okay, you're doing the same job, but the tech is basically someone that's helping you. Okay, so it's really your job also. You know, I've had nurses that told me that it sucks, it must suck being a tech. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we're doing the same job. You can just like pass out meds and do like other thing. And I mean, honestly, I really, really appreciate those nurses that love their profession and that's what they wanted to do. I mean, it's really like a beautiful thing to see, because you work with some nurses and you can tell they're not into their job and they just hate it. You know, they don't want to help, you know, and they just make your job more difficult. But when you work with a nurse that really loves their job, like, it makes your job so much easier. You know, it's a lot of teamwork and you just enjoy working with them. They're good to be around. Their energy is different and they don't mind doing things on their own. They don't call you for every little thing. You know, some nurses, they'll overwork you. Like, especially when that's not what they want to do. Like, that's why you have to go after what you're passionate about. Working as a PST or PCT has definitely helped me know for sure that I don't want to do nursing. It's not for me. Like, I think it's a great career. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of different things you can do in nursing. You know, you can do administrative stuff. You don't really have to do the bedside stuff. But I think a lot of nurses start off, sometimes you can start off in the ER, but a lot of times nurses have to start off like bedside, especially if you're a new nurse. So it's like, if you don't like doing all that stuff, then you just should not even do it. And especially don't do it for the money. Like, I've seen people who's done the job for the money and you can tell that they don't really care. They're there for the money. And I think that's unfair to the patients, because if you're not into it and you're just doing it for the money, then you're not going to give the best care. Like, I know I don't want to do nursing for sure, and it's not my passion. I especially know that by being a tech. So I think it will be just very unfair if I decide, okay, well, this PA school thing isn't working. Let me just go do nursing. Like, I'm not going to do that. I have something that I'm passionate about, and that's what I'm going to go after, because I know that, okay, if I go after something that I truly want to do, I'm going to be happy doing it. I'm going to be the best PA ever. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to try really hard and work hard to treat my patients, because that's my dream. So if your dream is to become a nurse and you love actually taking care of patients and doing all that a nurse does, go after it. But if you are a tech and you're like, okay, I hate this, I don't think it will be worthwhile to become a nurse. Because I've seen it time and time again. I've seen a lot of new nurses. I've seen some that graduate and they become great nurses. They love what they do. They still love, the patient care stuff. But then you have those new nurses that, want to get all bougie and act like they can't clean people and turn them and take them to the bathroom because that's a tech job. And what do you expect? Like, you're still doing the same job. Also, I want to mention that if you don't have patience, I don't know if nursing is for you. At least bedside nursing. I can speak from that perspective, because it takes a lot of patience to deal with the patients. They can really push your buttons. A lot of times I just tune it out, because I'm like, okay, they're sick. A lot of them are old, so I'm just like, whatever. But there's some people that really get angry at the patients, okay? And sometimes it's frustrating, like I told you in my video about becoming a tech. I think the most frustrating thing about the job is when people ask you to fluff their pillow, like people that can do it themselves, and they ask you to do it. I've seen young people, oh, I can't do that. I don't like that. I really don't. And then I remember when I had to wipe this, I think the guy was 40 years old, and I had to wipe his butt. That was not a good day for me, because he could walk to the bathroom and, everyone was making it seem like, oh my gosh, he can't do it. The family was there. He can't do it himself. And then all of us had to do that. And that's one of those days I'm like, I cannot wait to become a PA so I don't have to do this anymore. It was not a good day for me. But there's some people that don't mind doing stuff like that. I just don't have patience when it comes to younger people acting that way, acting so needy, like their hands are broke. I don't like that. So if you're one of those people that would get irritated with stuff like that, maybe that's not the field you should choose. And when you go in people's room, you don't know who you're dealing with. Some people are very ungrateful, and they'll demand you to do certain things, and you really have to control yourself. You cannot let the patients get the best of you. And a big part of nursing is being by that bedside. So you're dealing with the patients even more than the doctors or the PAs and the nurse practitioners. You're right there with them for 12 hours, usually 12 hours if you work at the hospital. So between 8 and 12 hours, I would say, in general. So if you can't deal with that, don't do the job, because people get fired for losing their temper and just doing stupid stuff, and you don't want to do anything that's going to ruin your future. So I think it's advisable that if you cannot deal with something, if it's not in your personality to deal with certain things, don't even do it. And plus, you're going to get burnt out. It's easy to get burnt out when you're doing something that you don't love, because everything's going to piss you off, and then you're not going to be fun to work with. You're going to be one of those people that no one wants to work with because you just hate your job so much, and it shows. anything you want to do in life, just try and do some shadowing. Like it's nothing worse than going into something just cold turkey sometimes, especially when you have that opportunity to shadow or to take on a similar job to see what that position would be like. You know, personally for me, I did a lot of PA shadowing. I shadowed a lot of doctors, PA. I even shadowed a nurse practitioner. And I just wanted to see like where I fit, like what job I see myself doing. I know for sure that I don't want to be a nurse. I think I will be a great nurse. I think I have like good bedside manners and all that, but that don't mean that I want to do it. So just make sure you're doing your research, you're shadowing, and in this case with nursing, just become a tech. It doesn't take much to become a tech. You just need either your CNA license or your EMT license, and you can get a tech job. And you can decide, okay, do I want to move forward and do this? So just try and research everything. And you have to research different areas in nursing. Nursing is a really broad career where they have like so many different areas you can work. Like you could, if you don't like bedside, you can do the administrative stuff. Like you can become a manager and like work your way up. So I mean, it's very broad, but if you don't see yourself doing that job, then you have to really just make that decision to do something that's truly in your heart. I mean, fully research anything that you want to do before you dive into it. Because the last thing you want to do is go to school for 2 years and then decide, okay, this is not for me. I've seen it, and it's hard because you've already invested the time. So it's really hard for you to backtrack. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I really hope my advice was helpful. I'm speaking from my perspective and my experience as a tech. I've been a tech for 3 years, so I've seen it. You know, I work really closely with nurses, so I'm qualified to give my opinion on that, even though it's not the field I'm trying to get into. But yeah, so if you want to become a nurse, I highly suggest that you become a tech first. Okay, and thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, subscribe, and thank you for liking my videos and commenting. I really, really do appreciate it.